I just had to tell you something because it was so disturbing. So I was about to start my video, and my intro I was gonna say, hey guys, welcome to Dairy Queen, order whenever you're ready. Like, I literally was about to say that to my YouTube channel. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie, and today we're going to be doing my first monthly wrap-up. So, for the month of, what month even was it, bruh? April, I had a pretty good reading month. Not a ton of 5 stars, but I feel like I got like a decent, like, they weren't low ratings, is what I'm trying to say. Just because they were 5 stars, they were still like really good books. So I read, let me count real quick. I read 11 books this month, and 2 of them were novellas, but one was like basically a book. So let's just get right on into it. So the first book I read was The Crush by Penelope Ward. This book was really good. I rated it a 3.5 stars. It was just a really quick read. It's not a big book or anything. It was fun. It was a little best friend's brother. So basically her best friend's brother moves away, and then after some tragic accident, but he moves away, and she always had a crush on him when she was younger, and now he's moving back, and all of a sudden, and he's moving in with them. And so at first it's like all forbidden, you know, and they have to sneak around the brother and everything. But something I hated about it was the brother pissed me off. Like, he literally was so manipulative, and like, he was just so annoying. Like, I did not like him, and he was like too much to his sister. Like I get it, you can care about your siblings and stuff, but it was like to the point where it was like kind of weird. But other than that, it was a good book, and I enjoyed it, and it was very simple, you know. It was a nice palate cleanser, if you will. Started to cry, but then remembered I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand. Next book we have is Killjoy by Holly Jackson. This was just a little novella. I rated this one a 4 out of 5 stars. It was really cute. It was just a little murder mystery thing, and it's a prequel to the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. So it was actually like, so it's before the first book, but like it came out after the series. So it was just a cute little book of them just having a little murder mystery party. There wasn't much substance to it, but it was good. And I feel like there was little like hints of like the future for the book, so I thought that was pretty cool. But honestly, I would probably recommend reading the series first and then reading Killjoy, just because I feel like it's not as good as the actual books, and it's not like you really need to read it before the first 3. So if you want to read Killjoy, just read it after the trilogy. The next book I read was Wild Souls by Faith Prince, and she actually DM'd me and asked me if I would read her book, and so of course I had to do it, and it was really good. I'm really happy I did, and I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars, and the concept of this book was so cool. It was unlike anything I ever read before. So it was about this guy, and he can see inside people's souls. Like, instead of like seeing my face, he would see like what I represent, or like kind of who I am a little bit, just like my soul, you know, and it like comes out in different ways. So he meets this girl, so he's like the outcast at school because everyone thinks he's weird because he can't be with like a big group of people because it's just like overwhelming, all of the, you know, souls that are showing to him. I don't know how to say it, but so him and this girl fall in love, and it's just really cute, and just kind of like their love story, and just how he gets through his soul scene. And it's a really cool book. I would definitely recommend it. Read this book. It definitely deserves more hype. Next up, we have The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This book was so cute. The butterflies that this book gave me, guys. Like, you don't even understand. It's everyone's dream to have the boy best friend that's so hot and fall in love with him. Like, I don't know. The only thing that bothered me about this book, to be honest, was just how obvious it was that Nathan liked Bree, and like that she didn't know. Like, come on, girl. Like, open your eyes. Okay, I don't know why I was just so mad there. And the tension between them, oh, it's got me squealing still. It was so good. I'm sure most of you guys have read this at this point, but if you haven't, definitely pick this one up. Next we have A Court of Frost and Starlight, and this one was a big letdown for me. I was not too excited to read this book because I heard it was just not that good, and it wasn't. I rated it a 2 out of 5, and I just felt like it was so pointless. Like, I don't know, I just didn't see a point in this book. Like, literally nothing happened. They're just celebrating basically their Christmas, and it was like, it's a big novella. It was, how many pages was this? It was like, it was 230 pages of them celebrating a holiday. Like, I don't need to read about that. It was kind of a waste of time. I don't know. And it's not like necessary to read this book if you want to read this series. Like, I don't know why everyone reads it, because if I could go back and do it again, I would not read it. It was just so pointless, like, and boring. Like, I didn't even enjoy it. Like, and I love the characters, but like, I don't know, it just, I could have done without it. The next book we have, guys, I'm obsessed with. I've been thinking about nonstop ever since I read it, and that is Meet Me Halfway by Lillian T. James. I am obsessed. The vibes in this book, the single parent trope, everything about it was so cute. I rated it a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I loved every single second of it. Like, there was just nothing that wasn't perfect about this book. And guys, the butterflies that I felt while reading this, it was like so cute. And the way he protected her, oh my goodness. And Garrett is so thoughtful in this book. Like, the things he does for her and just the things he thinks about and everything, he is just amazing. And the second book comes out, I don't know when. I feel like it's really soon. Should we look it up? Let's look it up. Okay, so it's called String Me Along, and it comes out May 30th, so in a month, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm definitely reading it right after it comes out. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my goodness. The next book we have is Marriage for One by Ella Mays, and this book was big, but it was so good. And one of the things I really liked about it, this is completely random, but I really liked that she owns a coffee shop or works in a coffee shop, because I'm trying to get a job right now. I just recently quit mine, and I really want to work in a coffee shop, so it's fun to see, like, just kind of experience it through a book. But I rated this a 4.5 out of 5. The only reason that I didn't rate it a 5 was I feel like it was a little slow in some parts. Like, it was a slow burn and it was good. I liked it as a slow burn, but like, just some parts were just kind of boring that I was kind of just like, eh. And Jack, oh my gosh. Jack was so cute. And this book actually reminded me a lot of Twisted Lies by Anna Huang. It just kind of gave the same vibe. So if you like Twisted Lies, you should definitely read this book, or vice versa. The side characters were just like so sweet. We always like the side characters, you know? Like, when the side characters are good, it's always just a bonus. A little, it just makes the book a little bit better, you know? But also, why do I kind of like this cover? Like, I know it's a man on the cover, but he's not naked. You know? He's just a nice looking man. I like this cover better, but I like the side of the other one better because it looks so good with Ella Mays' other books. The next book we have is Normal People by Sally Rooney. And let me just start off by saying I was super nervous to read this book because I know people either love it or they hate it. And lucky for me, I was one that loved it. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And it was so good and cute and sad and crazy. It was so deep, I feel like, and just interesting. Just like, it felt like such a real book. Like, I was reading about normal people. Just kidding. That was stupid. But I felt like I was reading about real people throughout the years of their life together. It was really good. But something that I was like, what is the point? Like, can someone tell me why Sally Rooney decided not to put quotation marks in her books? Like, why? What is the point? Quotation marks are to help. It bothered me a little bit at first, but as I read, I got more used to it. But like, I just want to know, why not just put them? Like, was it too much work or something? Like, I don't know, bruh. Also, I know the ending was supposed to be like how it was, obviously, oh my gosh. But like, the ending was like impactful and stuff, but I also felt like at the same time, it was underwhelming. Like, I feel like there could have been something more at the end. It didn't have to be like a perfect ending, but just something a little more than what it was. I feel like it was just like, oh, okay, it's over. So I tried watching the show and I got bored, but I'm not like a TV show girly. Like, I like books. I'd way rather read a book than watch a show. But I didn't really give it a chance. I didn't even finish the first episode, so, you know, maybe it's actually good. But I really wanted to watch it, but I don't know. I also really felt for the characters in this book. They felt so real to me. Their fears and just the way they thought. It was so real. I don't know, I feel like I keep using that word, but it just describes this book so well. It kind of broke my heart a little bit, to be completely honest. Like, I didn't cry or anything, but it was sad. Right person, wrong time, you know? I definitely would recommend this book, but it's not your typical book. The next book that we have was Set on You by Amy Leah, and I read this in my attempting to read for 24 hours readathon. That I just read this book basically because I failed, but it's still a good video, so go watch it if you haven't. But anyways, I loved the aspect of the body positivity that was in it, because I mean, almost everyone is insecure about their bodies, I feel like. I don't know, at least I am. And so I just loved the motivation and just the posts that she would do on her, like, in every chapter I feel like there would be like her posts, and it was just really cool just seeing her being motivational about her body, and just, you know, that everyone's body is different, and I just loved it. It was pretty predictable. Like, I kind of knew everything that was about to happen, but it was still really enjoyable. The end was kind of like annoying, like she was kind of annoying me, but at the same time I understand, I get that. I would probably react the same way that she did, but it was just annoying to read about. I liked the gym setting because I never really read a book that took place in the gym, so I feel like that was really fun. But also, the slang in this book was so cringe. Like, why? Some of the stuff that they said was just not it. Like, oh, I don't need to read about that in books. And like, what about in like 10 years? It was so disturbing. I was like, why are we using this? We don't need to. You could talk about Instagram and TikTok and whatever. I don't really care. I don't mind that in books. Or like, you know, celebrities. I like the references and stuff. But I do not need to hear slang in my books. It's just a no. But other than that, I really enjoyed the book. Next up, we have A Court of Silvered Flames by the one and only Sarah J. Maas. And this book is huge, as you know, and I finished the series, and, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more books coming out of this series. As of now, I have finished the series. The first half of this book was honestly kind of boring, and I was just kind of like slowly getting through it. But then the second half I read in like a day, and it was so good. I loved Nesta and Cassian. They were so cute together. Just everything about them was amazing. And I understand why the book was slow in the beginning, just because it was to show the growth of Nesta, how she came to be who she was, and like all her thoughts. Like, it was a very deep book where you understand like everything that she's going through. The friendship in this book, like Nesta and her little friend group, was so cute. I loved them. Those are some of my favorite parts of the book, like when they would have sleepovers and share books together. Like, they're romance book lovers, so like obviously I loved that. The things that Cassian did for Nesta was so adorable. Like a certain gift that he gave her, if you know, you know. It was just so cute. He was a sweetheart, and I would marry Cassian. I loved getting to see Feyre and Rhys in this book, just like little parts. I mean, they were in it for sure, but they weren't like a main part of the book. It was so cute seeing them, and, you know, just seeing them progress in their love and their life. And it was so hard for me to rate this book. I rated it a 4 out of 5, just because like the second half I would have rated a 5, and the first half I would have rated a 3. I had to go with a 4 just because the beginning wasn't 5-star material. But other than that, it would have been a 5. So I don't know, I really enjoyed this book. It was my third favorite in the series because I liked Court of Mist and Fury, Court of Thorns and Roses, and then this one. Next book we have is The DoOver by Lynn Painter. I just picked it up one day, read it all, and I mean, it's pretty short, and it's Lynn Painter. Her books are the best. They're just such a cute rom-com vibe, and I just love everything about I just love everything about them. They're just such good vibes. This one is about a girl who wakes up and keeps waking up like Freaky Friday, Groundhog's Day type of thing, and she just keeps trying to like change the way things happen, but then she keeps waking up the next day and she's like, okay, why is this not working? She finds out her boyfriend's cheating on her, so she's trying to stop it from happening, and she keeps running into this other guy and literally running into him, hence the crash on the cover. But there was also a teacher in this book named Mr. Bong, and I just want to know, why did Lynn Painter pick Mr. Bong? Like, I don't know, I thought it was funny, but it was just kind of weird. It was a really fun book and just a light-hearted book, but there was like an underlying deep message in it, I feel like, of just being who you are, and people, you'll find your people that love you for who you are, not just what's perfect on paper. And so I feel like that was a really good message in this book that I enjoyed. It was such a cute love story between the two, but the end, I feel like I was kind of pissed off a little bit. Like, it was like the third act breakup, you know? It was kind of unnecessary, but like I get why it was put in there, if that makes sense. I don't know. The ending was not my favorite, but like the very end was so cute. It made me want to cry. I don't know why. It wasn't sad or anything, but it just made me want to cry. Both of her books, I read this and Better Than the Movies, and both of them I just picked up and read in one day. I was never bored. I always had to find out what happened, and it was just so good. So I definitely recommend Lynn Painter, The Do-Over, any of her books. Honestly, they're just so good. 5 stars. Last but not least, we have my favorite book of the month, which was Travis by Mia Sheridan. I was going into this book not really excited to read it, honestly. I mean, I have the ugly cover too, so maybe that didn't help, but I was like, I don't want to read this. I didn't know why. I wasn't expecting it to be anything good, even though I loved Archer's Voice, but like this one, dare I say it's better than Archer's Voice? I don't know. I can't remember for sure. I can't remember a ton of Archer's Voice just because I read it so long ago, but I really liked this book. It was so cute, and I loved seeing Travis's growth through Archer's Voice and this book. This book is a couple years after Archer's Voice, so he was grown even more. The beginning of Archer's Voice, he was just this jerk, and then in this book, he's just a great person. And the end was kind of cringy. Like, the one part, the town meeting, it was like, come on, like, yeah, right, that happened. Like, no way, I'm sorry, but just no, that's so unbelievable. But at the same time, I'm reading a fiction book. This book had such good quotes. I feel like there was just about learning who you are, kind of like the last one too. And the small town vibes in this book were everything. I loved it. I feel like I could literally picture Pelion. Is that how you say it? Pelion? But I feel like you could just picture the town so well, and it literally reminded me of like a beach town, but like Stars Hollow from Gilmore Girls. Like, not necessarily the looks of the town, but like the community reminded me of Stars Hollow community. And Travis and Bree were literally a match made in heaven. They were so cute together, and it was like friends with benefits to lovers type of thing, and it was so adorable. I definitely would recommend this book, and like I said, it was my favorite book of the month. 5 out of 5 stars, and this definitely exceeded my expectations greatly. So that is all for today's video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you guys can see when I post next. Make sure to follow my Bookstagram. You'll get some extra special content on there. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Bye!